good afternoon. Today I thought I would talk you through my bullet journal essentials and then at the end just give you a little bit of a walkthrough of my current bullet journal setup. So obviously the first thing you're going to need is a journal. So this year I'm using this dot grid journal that I got from Amazon. I'll leave the link below. It's got gold foiled little dot grid journal, but I just absolutely loved this cactus print, and I personally love a ring bound bullet journal. I'll show you some of my other ones in a minute, but when I used a ring bound journal it just changed the game. This one actually also has a elastic cover and a pocket at the back that's got some stickers that came with it, and it also came a little ruler thingy here. So that's my current bullet journal, but I have in the past used, this is a moleskin. This was my first bullet journal, and if I'm honest I didn't really do too much in it. It's a bit of a wasted journal and turned into a bit of a notebook, but I found this too small. You don't get a lot of space on the pages, and I also found that the paper was really thin and you could see like the pen would bleed through from the other side. For example, this page, you can see the M from movie on the other side, and that isn't a thick pen line, so I didn't enjoy that. But I just find it really hard to use the left hand side of a page with this type of journal. So after that one I then moved on to the, I can never say this word, Leuchtturm 1917, but again it was the closed bound book. I found the pen, you got the bleed through from the page behind, which I don't mind to some extent if it's bold colour, but when that is literally just a grey fine liner, that really bugged me. And then on a whim I picked up this bullet journal in Hema. So I picked this up because I was like, oh, a wired bound bullet journal. And that is when the game changed, because I found just being able, I mean this is last year, so just gonna be honest, after February I didn't pick it up other than to use then as a notebook, because I just didn't feel enthusiastic with everything else that was going on. But I loved that I could fold it and work on one page and then work on the other page and then see the whole spread. So that really stepped the game up for me. So I think from now on I would only use wire bound ones, but I couldn't when I was looking really find any in any shops. I looked on small shops on Etsy and I couldn't find any, because I would have rather have supported a small business or just another business rather than Amazon, but I couldn't. So the Amazon one, I think it was about £7 or £8. If I'm wrong I'll put something somewhere. So number one is a journal, otherwise you wouldn't be bullet journaling. So the second thing, and basically everything else we're going to talk about, is stationery. I always like to plan my layouts a bit first, so I will always use a pencil, a ruler and a rubber. This pencil is, I don't know if you can see, if it will focus, Slytherin pencil, because that is my Harry Potter house, but also it's green so it matches quite well. And I'll link the Etsy store to that in the description as well. So a pencil, a rubber to rub it out after, and a ruler. Sometimes I just use the ruler because I know for like some of my heights I want like 6.5 centimetres and each dot is roughly ½ centimetre apart. So I'll use it for that, just to do my initial marking in pencil, but then when I do it in pen I won't use the ruler because I quite like. So for example in this spread I mapped it out first in pencil and then I just went over it loosely, but I actually quite like it not being perfect for something like that. they're my first things, and then following on from that is a fine liner. Now this is literally just a fine liner from the pound shop. I think you get about 8 in a packet, but I have placed an order with Nikki's supply store that hopefully will be coming the beginning of next week, and I'll probably will do a little unboxing. But I've like leveled up my fine liner game, so I'm excited for that. And also I ordered some brush pens and some midi liners, so I'll show you those. But in terms of this video, the basic essentials and also thinking of a budget, Poundland, perfect. These rubbers actually were a pack of 4 from the pound shop. I then also found these pens, and these are a pack of 4 in the pound shop. Oh, it's going to really struggle to focus, isn't it? But they're ballpoint pens. But they write really nicely, like they glide along the paper really well. That sounds so like a silly thing to say, but if you're into stationery, you'll understand what I mean. So I really enjoy those pens, so I would recommend those. And they're also really cute pastel colours. Although they're black ink, I will point that out, because I thought they were pastel to begin with, but I'm happy with the whole good ink situation if they're black. Then the next thing I would recommend is highlighters. I got a pack of 6 again from the pound shop, and they're all in various shades, but I'm just going to show you these 2 for now because they were in my pencil case. And they are they've got a very nice nib. I mean, we're leveling up this reviewing now. They've got a really nice nib. So I used those on some layouts. My books to read page, I just highlight just to give a bit of interest to and colour to the page. And then the only other kind of pens that I would necessarily like, basic sort of thing, I also use these Stadler fibre tip pens. They're like a slightly thinner felt tip pen, but I really like these, and they don't bleed actually too much through the paper. So I think I got these in Tesco. I can't quite remember the price, but if you wanted another way of adding some colour, I would recommend something like this. I am a fan of a post-it note, and sometimes I like to just plot out in my journal what is going to go on what page. So I like to use sticky notes, so something like that, or you can get, I think this was Paper Chase, although maybe RIP Paper Chase, who knows, but like a little book of sticky notes. Although these weren't that great, they kind of like rip off of the next ones, so be careful with that. That is why I kind of prefer just to use those ones sometimes. And then my other final, what I consider an essential for my bullet journaling anyway, is washi tape. You can get washi tape in all sorts of designs and colours. Like this one's foiled. This one's got like cute little animal. It's not going to focus now, is it? Bloody hell. This one's got cute little animals, like an anteater. When do you really see anteaters on things? It's so cute. Again, I'll just quickly find a page where I've used it. Well, that page. You just add some extra colour and interest to a page. And if you're not, like, I see some layouts on Instagram and Pinterest, and they're like beautifully illustrated, but I'm not really great at drawing freehand. So I prefer just to use washi tape just to add a bit of something to the page, but it's easy. And also they're really cheap. Like, I think this might have been a Poundland set, but then some other ones you can buy from small businesses, they're like £3 a roll, and you get so much on a roll and you barely use any on a page. So I would 100% recommend washi tape. So they were my essential supplies. So I thought I'd just quickly flick you through my current bullet journal setup and show you what I've done inside so far. I need to do a title page still, but I haven't got around to doing that. And equally, I haven't decided if I want to use this as a contents page just yet, so I'm leaving it blank until I've done a bit, and then I'll work out what I want to do, because otherwise I might do some kind of fancy title page or quote and use that side. So first up, this did start off life as a future log, and then I was going back through one of my other bullet journals, the older ones, and in here I had somewhere used it as a content planner. This I had done like filmed, edited, uploaded and stuff, but I decided just to keep it really simple, and I could also fit 4 to a page in the new one. So I've started roughly planning some video Instagram ideas for videos, and the highlighted ones are going to be reels, but there are a few things I might now swap over. Like I think I'd maybe like to do my desk tour earlier and then some process videos after, but I can just put some arrows, or I can cover with a bit of tape and write over the top, so that doesn't bother me too much. And then again, we've got like every month I've done that, and just done some washi along the bottom. So next I've been really into reading lately, so I've kind of done myself a books I own page. However, I ran into a little bit of an issue when I put shelf Kindle at the top, but these were all the Kindle ones, and there are more, and then there are books on the shelf. So I probably will need to do another version somewhere else, but for now I will try and work my way through some of these. I'm then logging the books that I have read in 2020 on here. I also use Goodreads, but I do like physically seeing how many I've read. My intention for the year is 30 books. So I'm on my 3rd currently, so we're making good progress. This tracker's not finished. This is a personal one. This is actually a period tracker, general exercise tracker. Next we've got, so this products to make box I actually did copy from Nikki's Supply Store's bullet journal, so I really like that. Just covered a few ideas up for now, but I don't mind showing content ideas because I already wrote some of those at the beginning. I've then also added like an Etsy sales page, because I'm primarily using this for my Hello Magic business and kind of personal rather than my photography work, because I have a design trust planner for that. But I'd like to track at the end of each month how many sales I had, just so I can keep note. And then I started making this little, I don't really know where I'm going with this just yet, but content schedule. So ideally I plan on posting reels on Tuesdays and IGTVs on Fridays. I may add like YouTube into this or studio vlogs, but that's just the kind of rough thing. I'm not going to get mad at myself if I don't stick to it. And then we come on to monthly. So I've done a monthly log rather than the future logs. I've just done monthly logs so I can see what's going on. However, England, we're in lockdown, so I don't really have many plans. So I sort of noted down on the momentous occasions I'd left the house and done some walks. And then I'm also part of the Indie Roller membership, so I just sort of noted down that on Wednesdays that is when the Zoom meetings are. I don't like to have big to-do lists at the beginning of the month that overwhelm me, so I've kind of stuck to putting no more than 4 things in a box, because then I know it's a bit more manageable and achievable. So I've kind of gone with tasks, so things that need to get done. And that is basically do my plan for the next quarter, do my tax return, which I absolutely have to do, organise my diary, and then create some new Hello Magic products. Goals, so things I'd like to do, but if they don't happen, that's also fine. As I said, I'm really focusing on reading, and it's really good for my mental health at the moment. So I've made a note of the books that I'd like to read this month, and I've already read 2 of those, and that's our book club book, so I'll definitely be reading that. And then other is just other things to consider, and then I just put a little quote at the bottom which says, at the end of the day we can endure much more than we think we can, which I think is very apt. And then this is one of my weekly spreads, so I've just, as I said, with the 4 tasks each day, I'm just giving myself 3 things to work toward. But again, I'm not putting the pressure on myself, because that's when things go downhill. So that was when lockdown 3.0 was announced. Things like these I didn't do, so I've just put an arrow to note that I need to move those at some point. Filming, which is happening now, which I removed to the weekend. Thursday, for example, I hadn't done a lot of these, so I just put catch up on to-dos. And then I've started noting for next week things that I will need to, as and when I think about them now, so that when I do next week's spread, I can then plan those things in. So yeah, that is my bullet journal so far. I may well update you the further I get on, and if I create some new spreads, I might maybe leave it until March and then do an update on this, I think. But if you've got any spreads that you like to do in your bullet journal, or if you've got any suggestions for anything or good accounts to follow, leave them in the comments, because I'd love to check them out.